human groups have a phase transition. And it's the same people. It isn't different people. So this, if you think about it, if you step back, this is a really different way to think about the world. And I'll tell you, when I was a story from when I was an early entrepreneur, and I was first starting out, maybe like a lot of you guys, at the end of the day, get together with sort of entrepreneur friends, and we talk about, we'd have a beer, and we talk about, how all the great ideas come from us, because we're really passionate risk takers, and that's why all the new ideas come from people like us, and we pat each other on the back. And then something strange happens. You grow up. And as your company gets a little bigger, you start needing to hire. And you start hiring. Some of the people you talk to are those big corporate types. And then you go out for drinks with them and dinner, and you know what? They're just like you. They're turned on by sexy new gadgets. They really want to make a difference. They're excited about new ideas. They want to go home to their spouse or their family or their friends and tell them how they're working on this really exciting stuff. They don't live to shoot down ideas. When you take them just one-on-one. And then when you actually hire them, guess what? Boom, off goes the suit jacket, off goes the tie, and they start pounding the table. They're just like you. They are you. Right? I want you to imagine a drop of water. I drop that water onto a block of ice. What happens? It freezes. I drop the water into a pool of liquid. What happens? It slushes around with all the other molecules. It's the same molecule. Being innovative, going crazy for new ideas, has nothing to do with the individuals. It's a collective property. A molecule of water doesn't sit around and just decide, I'm feeling innovative, I'm feeling like a liquid today, I'm feeling like a solid today. It's a collective property. In science, we call that an emergent behavior. You can't understand it by analyzing one molecule alone. It's nothing to do with culture or one individual creating something. It's a certain collective property. I'll give you another example. Iron. Raw iron is a pretty soft metal. Add a tiny little bit of carbon to that iron, and what does it become? Steel. Add a little bit of nickel to that steel, what does it become? It becomes the steel alloys that are used inside nuclear reactors and jet engines. Those are the tiny changes in structure that can transform the collective properties. There are these tiny we'll find that there's a handful of parameters that can change the property of groups. Nothing to do with culture. A handful of parameters, just like adding a little bit of carbon or adding salt to water, that can transform the ability of groups to innovate.